Thanks, everyone, for being here. We'd like to call to order the Guthrie Public Schools Board of Education meeting for Monday, June 12th, 2017.
Wow.
Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Here.
Pennington.
Here.
Davis. Here. Watts.
Here.
Smedley. Here. Salee.
Here.
Bennett Johnson.
Here.
Madam President, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Please stand with me as we pledge allegiance.
The flag over there?
Yep. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As we begin this meeting, let us pause for a moment of silence. Thank you. Agenda item number 6, comments to the board by citizens registered to speak.
Madam President, we have one that has registered to speak, Justin Eady. Would you like to come up and introduce yourself to the board?
Hi, Justin Eady, I'm a Regional Director of Operations with SFE. I just want to take a moment to say thank you very much for the last 5 years. We've really enjoyed being a partner with Guthrie School District, and obviously we wish the best for y'all moving forward. Obviously, at a moment's notice, if you guys need anything, we're happy to go ahead and assist in whatever way we possibly can. But again, I just want to take an opportunity to say thank you very much, and we very much value your partnership with y'all. Again, wish you all the best from moving forward.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Any board members registered? Not registered. Any board members want to speak? Superintendent's report.
Okay, I have several items I wanted to discuss. First of all, graduation was well attended. I wanted to thank Helen Price and her staff at the Lazy E Arena for accommodating us so we could assure that families that nobody would be turned away on this special night. I thought it went very well. Compliments to Cody Thompson's crew for the audible shift of location, and I think it all went off very well. We had a little bit of a traffic issue, and we just delayed the start of it, and everybody got in, and it was a great night. The legislature adjourned on May 25th with an appropriations bill that puts as much money in the classroom as we started this year with. It did not fund a teacher pay raise, and when I do these reports, I also look back at the previous month, but I look back also at what I said a year ago. And one of the things that I mentioned a year ago, that was a caveat that I'll issue again, was that my hope is that the revenue projections are realistic so that we do not have budget failures. The good thing is it appears that gross production is ticking up. Hopefully sales tax will begin to have a steady growth as well. That's a sign of a more robust economy. But then over the last few days, I've been kind of exposed to a couple of scenarios that I wanted to share with you of our neighbors. In Kansas, the state legislature approved a budget calling for an increase in income taxes. The bill was subsequently vetoed by Governor Brownback. And this last week, the legislature successfully overrode the veto. I always kind of remind everyone when we talk about Kansas that prior to all of the tax issues that they've had, and they took a similar strategy that Oklahoma did of cutting and cutting and cutting to find the sweet spot. But they started at a different starting line than we did in Oklahoma with per pupil funding, because it would cost our state per pupil, if to raise the level of funding that Kansas enjoyed at the start of this year, it costs our state an additional $2.1 billion with a B dollars dedicated to education. So that's a difference in Kansas and Oklahoma, yet Kansas has passed successfully an income tax increase. And whether or not, we can debate whether or not that would be effective, but the reality is Kansas has put more money toward education than what they did in the past, and they started at a different spot. In Texas, a stalemate over funding surfaced between the House and the Senate. And the House and the Senate got into a fight that the only thing physical about the fight was when they talked about immigration, and it actually did turn physical on the floor over immigration. But they are in a stalemate over, and the end result, and this was an article I read while I was traveling to see family this weekend in a newspaper in the Panhandle. End result, there's almost 300 previously well-funded districts are facing massive cuts because of some of the roadblocks that they faced with their legislature, and they only meet every other year too. So this could be, if they don't go back into special session, this could be a real interesting long-term problem for Texas. So I guess I'm sharing this because we're not the only ones having problems, but of those 3 states, we are by far the lowest funded per pupil for education as well. And so I always want to issue that caveat. Something else, we were notified this last week that there have been regulatory changes by the SEC pertaining to the sale of bonds. And these changes will delay the next sale of our bonds by 1 month. So when we get to August, we will not have the proceeds. It will probably be September. I don't anticipate this to cause any issues with our projects. But I wanted to let you guys know that because we'll be looking probably next month for a proclamation for the sale of it. And the movement of dirt at the Charter Oak site is in full motion. Currently, lagoons are being formed in the low area west of the school site. And I posted a picture on the school Facebook page that I took this morning about 11 o'clock there. And there is a lot of activity out there, and it's drastically different even than when we were there before the groundbreaking ceremony. So that's my report.
Thank you. Agenda item number 8, the consent agenda.
Madam President, I would like to make a recommendation. We approve, just to pull agenda item A on the consent agenda.
Is that a motion?
Yes, a motion to approve the consent agenda minus item A.
Thank you. Second. Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Watts.
Yes.
Medley. Yes. Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Consent agenda item 8A, minutes of the regular meeting for May 8th.
I move we approve agenda item, from the consent agenda item A.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Watts.
Abstain?
Smedley. Yes. Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
6 ayes, 1 abstention.
We've gotten all the way to part 2 of your packet. 175.
Making these things so big, I lose my spot.
It's page 175.
It's not on that one. Just get rid of that one.
No, I know. I thought I had
You gotta go to the next one.
I was trying to find it.
Yeah,
You gotta
attachment
take
two.
two.
I thought I had it up here.
Okay. Sorry about that. Agenda item 9A, recommendation, consideration, action upon renewal of financial advisor services agreement with Municipal Finance Services, Inc. for 2017-2018.
This is John Wolf is their representative that works with us on the sale of our bonds and the payment schedules. Recommend approval.
Do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we the renewal of the financial advisor services agreement with Municipal Finance Services, Inc. for 2017-18.
Second. Do you have any discussion? Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Watts.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 9B, recommendation, consideration, action upon the amendment to renew agreement with Clearwater Enterprises for the purchase of third-party natural gas for 2017-2018.
This is page 183 of your packet. It's an agreement that we have for bulk purchase of natural gas that we've had with this company for a number of years, and we save a significant amount of money with them over Oklahoma Natural Gas because of the quantities that we purchase.
I move we approve the agreement with Clearwater Enterprises for the purchase of third-party natural gas for 2017-18.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Watts.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Item 9C, recommendation, consideration, action upon contract with Sodexo, Inc. for 2017-2018 for child nutrition services.
Okay, every 5 years, we put an RFP out for our child nutrition services, and essentially they provide the leadership and guidance for our department. And that RFP went through a committee and was led by Mr. Schultz and Ms. Chappell, and they have a recommendation. And Dennis, Michelle, do you have anything you want to offer to the board?
Just that there was a member of the wellness committee from each side that was involved in this. Basically, the proposals were probably fairly close in their evaluation, except for the financial piece of it. And that was probably the difference with all members of the committee, that the guaranteed net income from operations was the best from Sodexo. And so the committee is recommending that we go with Sodexo next year for management of our child nutrition program.
No, I think it was it last year we increased the school lunches and school breakfast by 10 cents. Well, what impact would that have on this contract?
That won't have any effect on the contract. All of the bidders were aware of what our prices are, and so I don't foresee that has any bearing on the contracts at all.
So was it a substantial savings or just a?
The two of the four bidders provided a guaranteed net income. One was a net income guarantee of $30,000 for the year. Sodexo's was $75,000.
So as the committee reviewed these bids, I know you looked at quality, you looked at other indicators as well, because I recall about 5 years ago that was a big issue at the time. So we feel like everything's on par here between the two.
The proposals probably were evaluated fairly closely between the two bidders that had guarantees, because as I said, two of the bidders didn't even provide the guarantee, and that probably was the main thing that kept them from being a finalist. But from the proposals, which is what we really need to go on, it really was comparable that each of the members from the buildings felt like that what was going to be in the cafeteria would be comparable, yes. The main thing that made the difference to the members of the committee was the pricing.
The net income?
Yes.
Yeah. One was 30,000 guaranteed, and the other one was, that's a big difference.
For 1 year. Right. For 1 year.
In 1 year, but
And this, again, we have done these every 5 years, but this is also an annual renewal. So if Michelle, after Dennis departs, wants to go through that madness next year, she could choose to do so. It's quite an intense endeavor.
I just want to make sure the quality, we weren't going to have the same problems we had several years ago, because $78,000 will be a cheap price to
That was a
pay.
completely different vendor.
Yeah.
We didn't even submit a proposal. And just for another note, I do want to thank Jessica and Justin for what they have done for the last 5 years.
Yes.
Jessica has really done well, but it's just a business decision that needed to be made.
Yeah.
Well, I agree, they have done a great job. But I recommend we approve the contract with Sodexo Inc. for 2017-2018 for child nutrition services.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Watts.
Yes?
Smedley.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 9D, recommendation, consideration, action upon temporary appropriations for 2017-2018 for the general fund, building fund, child nutrition fund, gifts and endowments fund, and insurance casualty fund.
This is an annual item that we put on the agenda for June to begin the next fiscal year. It can be found on page 191 of the packet, and page 17 of part 2. If you have any questions, Michelle or Dennis will be here to answer.
I make a motion that we approve the temporary appropriations for 2017-18 for the general fund, building fund, child nutrition fund, gifts and endowment fund, and insurance casualty fund.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington. Davis. Yes. Watts.
Yes?
Smedley.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 9E, agreement with North Church, Inc. for the facility used for 2017-2018.
We have done this for, I believe, a year and a half now, and it's been a good partnership. They've been very generous in their involvement, I guess, and they've also somewhat adopted the school, and it's just worked out for both of us. I recommend it continue that.
I make a motion we approve the agreement with North Church, Inc. for the facility use for 2017-2018.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Watts.
Yes?
Smedley.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 9F, recommendation, consideration, and action upon renewal with OSIG for property, general liability, fleet vehicle, and errors and omissions coverage for 2017-2018.
You have on page 198 the information from OSIG, and we also shopped this and found no takers. It's hard to find insurance companies that want to insure schools right now in our state because of some of the losses that have occurred. And we talked about that in depth in property committee. I think we even covered it a little bit in finance committee. So that's page 198 to 216, and recommend approval. And Dennis or Michelle either one can answer any questions you might have.
Any questions?
I make a motion we approve the renewal with OSIG for property, general liability, fleet vehicle, and errors and emissions coverage for 2017-2018.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Watts.
Yes?
Smedley.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 9G, recommendation, consideration, and action upon renewal of OSAG for workers' compensation insurance coverage for 2017-2018.
OSAG has been our carrier for a number of years. We actually had a decrease in this, and we also shopped this year as well. and Des and Michelle worked through this also. If you have any questions, recommend approval.
I like the decrease.
I move we renew our contract with OSAG for workers' compensation insurance coverage for 2017-18.
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Watts.
Yes.
Medley.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 9H, recommendation, consideration, and action upon renewal agreement with Aurora Learning Community Association for 2017-2018.
This is an annual service that we use to track test performance and scores of our students, and the database and the training involved. And Ms. Walters negotiated this assignments on page 225 of your packet. Recommend approval.
Well, I'm glad to see the decrease. We always are. I make a motion we approve the renewal agreement with Aurora Learning Community Association, ALCA, for 2017-2018.
Second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Watts.
Yes.
Medley.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 9I, recommendation, consideration, and action upon the elementary student handbook for 2017-2018, and the handbook supplements for Cotterell, Central, Fogarty, and Guest for 2017-2018.
I would recommend approval as presented with one exception. There is, on page 256, our board president noticed a grammatical error that I want to make sure we rectify, and that is on that page under responsive classroom, the third sentence should say, and let's see here. This is a research-based educational approach associated with greater teacher effectiveness, higher student achievement, and improved school climate. Add a D.
Okay. All right. I wasn't going to prove it otherwise. Good job.
I really wasn't expecting it coming. I called Jana.
Good job. I make a motion we approve the elementary student handbook for 2017-2018 and the handbook supplements for Cotterell, Central, Fogarty, and Guest for 2017-2018 with the change on page
256.
under responsive classroom on page 256.
Second.
Hey, I have a question, but I don't know what to call it until I can find it. But I remember on the looking through this on the guest handbook, what I would say would be their mission statement or whatever. All of a sudden, it became one little baby sentence, and it used to be a "What's the deal?
Yeah,
Are we not going to have them memorize anymore? What's the deal?"
I really can't answer that. I can probably.
I mean, it was. They had a nice thing they recited every day, and now they say one little rinky-dink line.
I don't know the answer to that, but I'll find out for you.
Do you have any idea? No.
No, well, if I can guess on here, I'd let you know.
Okay.
Creed or something.
Yeah, the student creed. That's what it was, and it's just totally gone, basically.
So it's still respectful and
Yeah, but I kind of like learning some memorization. That was my thing on that. Yeah, I would like to know just the answers to why we're doing that. It's on page 280.
Okay.
We'll get that.
Oh, school creed.
All that to one little word.
It's not asking too much. It's the same as,
any other discussion?
No, that was my question.
I think it's a good question. I'd like to know too. Good one.
You made the motion, right?
Okay.
No.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I made the motion.
Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Watts.
Yes.
Medley.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item number 9J, recommendation, consideration, action upon agreement with Beth McLean for occupational therapy for 2017-2018.
It's on page 281 of your board packet. And we have the additional quotes that we received receive for services from other providers. So, recommend approval.
I make a motion we approve the agreement with Beth McLean for occupational therapy for 2017-2018.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Watts.
Yes?
Smedley.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 9K, recommendation, consideration, and action upon renewal agreement with Logan County Health Department for nursing services for 2017-2018.
This is an annual item that I urge your approval on. The cost of this is $12,000, and you can see the value added if you look at the quotes that we placed in there that we received. It's on page 283 and 284 of your packet. Recommend approval.
I move we renew the agreement with Logan County Health Department for nursing services for 2017-18.
Second?
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Watts.
Yes?
Smedley.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 9L, recommendation, consideration, and action on the following appointments for 2017-2018.
These are annual items that the board must consider prior to commencement of the new fiscal year to renew or name new, in the case of a couple of these, different people that must be authorized to do the work. You have to provide that authorization annually by the board. Yes. I'm sorry.
We have Michelle Chappell, purchasing agent, Michelle Hamby, encumbrance clerk, Jana Wanzer, treasurer, Anita Paul, assistant treasurer, Jana Fry, clerk of the board and minutes clerk, Jean Watts, deputy clerk of the board and deputy minutes clerk.
I make a motion we approve the following appointments as listed under agenda item L for 2017-2018.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Watts.
Yes?
Smedley.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 9M, recommendation, consideration, action to accept each bid as listed for the lawn services for Guthrie Public Schools for 2017-2018.
This tabulation is on page 285 of your board packet. Recommend approval of the highlighted vendors on the tabulation sheet.
I commend Cody on getting all these together for us. I know we asked a couple years back for this, and I know it's probably kind of a little bit of a hassle, but we appreciate your due diligence on it very much. So I recommend we approve the bids as listed for the lawn services for Guthrie Public Schools 2017-2018.
Second.
Question, Swift Creek Lawn Care, is that local? Is that somebody like we had one out of Tulsa that then went around and hired people and it didn't work out one time?
They're local.
They are
They
local?
were actually going from the source one.
Okay, thank you.
They're local people.
My electronic device is not cooperating. There was one that had the same price for two schools.
Right.
Yeah, I had 121.
Possibly.
Michelle's the one that he also bought one site for us last year, so we kept him on that one. And we went over the second one there, it's tied with the Benson. He had five sites this year, so we decided to make that decision.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Watts.
Yes?
Smedley.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item number 9N, recommendation, consideration, action to ratify the lease purchase financing agreement for Oklahoma LED project.
This is an annual item that we will do, just like we do all these purchases when we annually ratify them. And this is on the LED lighting project that we're
I've got a question.
doing.
Looking back at their proposal a year ago, they claimed we would save $128,000 a year in utilities. Have we looked at those numbers to see if any of those have, how close they've been?
Because of the problem that we had at gas, it's been really hard to figure out because we weren't being charged for all of it when we settled with gas. We tried to look at other sites and partition that out. I've looked at that. We're saving money. We're probably not saving as much as maybe they projected, but you have to remember also that part of that projection was the reduced maintenance on our lighting. And Cody, how are we doing on our lighting?
Almost at zero, but we had not changed any lights at all whatsoever, so.
And they're still under warranty, correct?
Yes, they're still under warranty, still calling. They didn't finish that until, October, somewhere in that range, November, something like that. They finally got all the lights changed out, so the savings may not be able to be noticed until we go through a full calendar year when we do all that.
I was watching it, but then the gas issue clouded it a lot because if you remember right, we had 3 phases of service at gas that 2 summers ago, we had to replace the transformers, and then they wired it in and did not, we were not being charged for 2 of the 3 phases, and then they found that in the middle of the year, and then we had to negotiate with OG&E on that. So.
No, there's not a motion.
Yeah, we do need a motion on this.
I make a motion that we approve the lease purchase financing agreement for Oklahoma LED project.
Second. Are there any further questions? Discussion? Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Watts.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 9O, recommendation, consideration, action upon revision to district policy F6, Guthrie Public Schools Wellness Policy.
Change on this policy is on page 294. This will give each site flexibility with regard to the smart snacks requirement so that we could sell certain things that do not fall within that regulation, but we still have to follow that during times that we're serving meals in the cafeteria. And this is something that, as much as anything, came from a request from the high school.
Is there a motion?
I make a motion, we approve the revision to the district policy regarding policy F6, Guthrie Public Schools Wellness Policy.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Watts.
Yes?
Smedley.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 9P, recommendation, consideration, action upon appointment of Michelle Chappell, Executive Director of Finance, to replace Dennis Schultz, outgoing Assistant Superintendent, as designated representative of the Board of Education to conduct employee negotiations for 2017-2018 school year.
This is, the board has to designate. Doug is one of the designees, and Dennis has been in the past, and I recommend that we hand those reins over to Michelle.
I move we appoint Michelle Chappell as the designated representative of the Board of Education to conduct employee negotiations for 2017-18 school year.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Watts.
Yes?
Smedley.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item number 10, proposed executive session for the purpose of discussing employment of personnel, FMLA request, resignation and separation from employment, and transfer of position requests, all as set out in the personnel reports. Rehiring of support personnel is listed in the 2017-2018. Employment of temporary contract teachers is listed for 27-2018. Employment of career and probationary teachers as listed for 2017-2018. Extra duty assignments as listed for 2017-2018. Employment of VOAG teacher or VOAG instructors for 2017-2018. And teacher negotiations for 2017-2018, disclosure of which information would violate the confidentiality requirements of state and/or federal law, all pursuant to 25 Oklahoma Statute, Section 307B, 1, 2, and 7. We vote to go into executive session.
I make a motion, we go into executive session.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Watts.
Yes.
Smedley. Yes. Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
This is to acknowledge the board's return to open session. Only items in Agenda 10 were discussed in the executive session. No votes were taken. This shall constitute the executive session minutes. Agenda item number 11, vote on action as set out in the personnel reports.
Madam President, I make a motion that we vote on the personnel reports. Approve them.
Second.
Can I get a second?
Not yet. Okay,
Yes,
okay,
okay.
okay. Second, or whoever.
Somebody did over
We're good, okay.
Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Watts.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
And agenda item number 12, action upon recommendation to rehire support personnel as listed for 2017-2018.
I make a motion, we approve the rehire of the support personnel as listed for 2017-2018.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Watts.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 13, action upon recommendation to employ temporary contract teachers as listed for the first semester of 2017-2018.
Madam President, on that item that is on page 300. My apologies, that item stands as recommended for approval. Page 299.
Oh, two, okay. I make a motion, we approve the recommendation to employ the temporary contract teachers as listed for the first semester of 2017-2018.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Watts.
Yes?
Smedley.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 14, action upon recommendations to employ probationary teachers as listed for 2017-2018.
Madam President, at this time, I would recommend that everything is approved on that list with the exception of Stephen Hodge Geometry at the high school, as we have already accepted his resignation, and these lists cross paths in the process of accepting his resignation.
So noted.
I make a motion, we approve the recommendation to employ the probationary teachers as listed for 2017-2018 with the exception of Stephen Hodge.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Watts.
Yes?
Smedley.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item number 15, action upon recommendation to employ career and probationary teachers as listed for 2017-2018.
I make a motion, we approve the recommendation to employ the career and probationary teachers as listed for 2017-2018.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Watts.
Yes?
Smedley.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 16, action upon recommendation of extra duty assignments as listed for 2017-2018.
Madam President, I would ask that we pull from consideration tonight the high school and junior high athletic extra duty stipend list. That is on pages 313 through 315, and recommend that we approve the remainder.
So noted.
I'm sorry, you said athletic?
Yes, page 313 through 315.
I make a motion that we approve the extra duty assignments as listed for 2017-18, with the exception of the junior high and high school athletics.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Watts.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 17, possible vote to employ one or more VOAG instructors for the 2017-2018 school year.
I have no recommendation at this time.
Agenda item 18, recommendation, consideration, and action to accept any resignations offered since the posting of the agenda.
We have one for consideration by the board and acceptance. It is Ashley Wilson. She is a fifth grade teacher at Gap. Recommend that we accept.
I move we approve the resignation of Ashley Wilson.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis. Yes. Watts.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 19, discussion and possible action on new business not known about or it could not have been reasonably foreseen at the time of the agenda posting.
The only new business that we have is I did want to make one comment. This will be the last board meeting for Eldana Woodruff and Dennis Schultz as Guthrie Public Schools employees, unless we have a special board meeting at some point before the end of the month. So we want to wish them well in their retirement, and you can come back for any board meeting you'd like. They're open to the public.
Amen.
Thank you, guys.
Can we
Appreciate
get
your
them?
time.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Yeah.
We have no new business anymore.
Madam President, I would just like to, since Mr. Rainwater's here, like to acknowledge the junior high musical, The Lion King, that was performed at Favor was superb. It was greatly done, so really appreciate that.
Awesome. And Madam President, I move we adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Pearson.
Yes.
Pennington.
Yes.
Davis.
Yes.
Watts.
Yes.
Smedley. Yes. Salee.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
7 ayes, 0 nays.
You made it.